Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back. And if you're new today, hello and welcome. Here I love talking about anything about beauty. I love testing out new makeup, and I love sharing tips and tricks I have learned along the way. And I also love learning from you. So if that seems like something you might enjoy, please consider hitting that subscribe and notification bell. I would love to see you back. So this is going to be a completely different kind of video. I've never done this kind of video on my channel before. This could be a complete fail, but if it's not, it could be a real game changer for some of us. So if that seems like something you might enjoy, please stick around because we're about to get into all that right now. So did everybody have a safe and relaxing Memorial Day weekend? I'm actually getting ready to go over to my sister's house for a cookout because today's actually Sunday and tomorrow's Monday on Memorial Day. So that's what I'm doing today. And tomorrow I will take some time to remember those who have made that ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms here in the U.S. because I actually have a lot of family members that have served in the armed forces, like Daryl's dad, my dad, my two uncles, Daryl, my son Kurt, and my niece. So a lot of family members. And I also want to thank and my condolences to any of you that have lost someone during combat. All right, let's get into this video. Again, it's going to be a sink or swim video, but I'm super excited about it because if it works, it's going to be a pure genius. I actually seen somebody on one of the platforms, obviously that's how I got this idea. And I'm so mad because I cannot find that video. And I would like to thank that creator. But I seen the video and I swear I ran or clicked over to Amazon immediately because I wanted to get what I'm about to show you. So I feel so bad I didn't save that video, but I'm still going to look for that video. And if I do find it, I'm going to place it right here or link it down in the description box. Okay, so what she showed were these empty containers right here. So as soon as I seen these, so many ideas popped in my head. And again, I could not click over to Amazon fast enough. But the first idea was for travel because they are so compact. And because when I do go traveling, I do take this, of course, my Alley Glines bags, if I can grab it here. But yeah, I do not travel without these. So inside are all these different compartments. And as you can see, I still have stuff from when I went and seen the kids last time. But I figured I'm not going to unpack it because I'm going right back. But the one that I'm thinking of is this one here because I also take all of my Laura Geller products. So when I do open it, when I'm thinking, because here's all my Laura Geller right here, I stack them like this. So you can't see right now, but I'm going to show you. And then I can stack these. So everything just fits, perfectly. Again, it's all compact. It's not going to make a huge mess. So that's what, my first thought, because again, I take these and they're nice, when you go traveling because they fit in here just perfectly. So that was the first idea. Now, the video that she did was she mixed like a bunch of liquid blushes together and put them in these containers. So that's what triggered me. And I was like, okay, well, how about my foundations, all that? Because especially like this one, the Catrice one, nobody likes these droppers. So that is going to eliminate that. But like I have mentioned before, they do have these dispensers on Amazon. So that kind of fixed that problem. But again, this is glass. You have that risk of them breaking and getting all over the place. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a sink or swim video. So this is what it looks like. It's really nice. It came in a pack of 2. Now these were, I think, like $13. But what's cool is once you open this, there's like that little sponge, kind of like that Turtur that I just used. I love that foundation. That's another reason why I wanted to get this. So it comes with this little sponge and, it just sits perfectly here. And then you open it just like the Turtur. And then it has like this little, I don't know, like sponge. So we're going to try a few different options there. And then these ones here is like for powder. So this could be for loose powder. And, you're probably thinking, well, the loose powder looks like that. Okay, I will explain. So it looks like this, but again, it is smaller than a normal loose powder, most of them. And what's nice is when you open this, it does have that mesh. So that is really a nice feature, and that just sets on top there. And again, I'm not going to have a bunch of powder product all over my bag. So I thought that was really cool. And then this one, it could be for your purse because it is much smaller. So it looks like this, and then you just open it, oop, and the little poop poop is right here. But again, there's like this mesh. So it's not going to get all over our purse, everything, and it does have a mirror. And I think all of them do have mirrors. So let's see. Yeah, they all have mirrors. So, okay, let's do the first idea that came into my head, and that is with the foundations. So you just fill, I guess, this part, which is like a sponge here. And I guess I would just place a bunch of my foundations. But the other idea that came, my head is just clicking. So if I'm going really quick, that is why. But the other idea that came into my head is see how light this is for my skin tone right now? But now that I am self-tanning, it's going to become a problem. But I do love this foundation. So what I was thinking is I can take this and place a bunch of drops into this little container here. So I'm just going to take quite a bit because I do want a lot of product. So let's do like 3. I mean, you could really fill this up quite a bit. And what's nice is you can reuse it, change it up. Yeah, it's just going to be really neat. So it looks like that. And now what I'm going to do is take some bronzing drops, which I hope I brought down right in front of me. And then these are the e.l.f. bronzing drops in rose gold. So what I'm going to do is maybe place, I don't know, 3 maybe little drops in there. Let's see if it can come out. And oh, maybe a little bit more. Let's do that because I do have quite a bit of product. And then you can just take a spatula or something just to really mix that around. And let's see if this is a good shade match now. I might have to make it just a little deeper. Yeah, it's still just a little light if you ask me. So let's add a little bit more of the bronzing drop. So you become a little scientist right here and try to come up with your little perfect shade. So it's a lot of fun, actually. If you ask me, I'm having a great time. But again, what she did was added like a bunch of different colors of blushes, and it really made a neat shade. So you can just make a custom shade pretty much. So yeah, it is darkening up quite a bit. So I think that is pretty good. I don't want to add any more of the drops because then it can become a little bit yellow. So I think that's a great shade match. So now what you do, I think, is just take the sponge and really soak up a lot of the product. I'm going to guess, and let's see what happens. So now I flipped over the sponge and it looks like that. So let's try it out. I was watching Robert Welch, and he said how you want to hold these type of things is I think you do these 2 fingers like that, and then the middle finger like that. That way you get an even application. So now I'm just going to, I don't know, do this a little bit, pack it on this sponge just a little bit. I may have placed too much, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I really think that turned into a nice shade. And the reason why I thought this would work really well is because I really loved how the Turtur does apply with this type of applicator. And again, I just feel like this might be just really good for travel. I don't know. It might dry out quickly. I will definitely let you guys know in the description box because, even in a day, it's going to dry out if it's going to dry out. So let's just keep going. Now with the Turtur, I definitely feel like not like the Turtur, I do feel like I have to use just a little bit more product here, but it's working out really good. I think this would work out really well if you like a sheer coverage, because that is basically all it's giving me is like a sheer coverage right now. So for this, I'm not sure, for your foundation, that might be a little bit of a fail, especially if you do like more of a full coverage foundation. Let's see if I use my brush, if it makes any difference. And you probably have to place quite a bit of product in that container for it to come through that sponge. Yeah, I do feel like that did give me a little bit more coverage. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think using this brush did help. Maybe if I added more product, maybe this should be, pretty soaked. So let me do that. I'll come back and we'll see if that makes a difference. Okay, I added more product to that. So I just added 3 dropperfuls of this and more of the bronzing drops. So again, I'm going to try this one or the sponge that it came with. And let's go on the forehead and see if we get any more coverage by adding more and really soaking that sponge in there. And yeah, I feel like this is not a good sponge, the one that it came with. Maybe it would work with a turtle, but it's not working really good. I feel like it's just, soaking up a lot of the product. So let's go in with my brush because I would take my brushes traveling anyway and just see if that makes any difference whatsoever. Yeah, no, I just feel, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like a lot of product might get wasted by doing it like that. So I'm really not sure how I feel about this right here. You know what? It's applying a lot more product than I'm thinking. Maybe because it feels so lightweight, but definitely with a brush, you get a heck of a lot more coverage. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, it just feels different than if I apply it directly on my face. So, you know what? Time will tell. If this dries out, then yeah, it's not a really good thing. But if it doesn't dry out, this is actually quite a genius. Again, so many different ways to use that, like she did with the blushes. Again, to mix your products, if something is too light or too dark, one of your foundations is perfect for that. This would be great just to throw in your purse if you needed a touch up throughout the night. So, yeah, not too bad at all. I may have made it just a little bit too dark, but that's okay because, like I said, I am self tanning. So, yeah, I think it matches pretty darn good. So, you know what? It's not too bad of an idea. It's a great idea. I just don't like the sponge that it came with. Okay, so let's go into the other part of what I was thinking to use these for. So I love my Wet n Wild. I absolutely love this, but look how big that is. It's huge. You don't need all that to go traveling. So what I was thinking, and also if you poked all the holes, if you removed the thing and all the holes were removed or open, this powder just goes everywhere. Now, the only I don't know, thing that's going to be a little hard is taking this part off. So let me see if I can do that. I'll come back and then I'll show you how that's going to work in here. Okay, so that came off a lot easier than I anticipated. You guys know me with packaging. I'm absolutely horrible. So what I did was take some tweezers. I just kind of wedged it under that lid there and shimmied it off, and it came off relatively easy and it didn't make a huge mess, which is super impressive, especially for me. Okay, this next container here, I had some trouble figuring this one out. I had to have Daryl help me out because I could not figure it out, because you'll see why. So you open it up and you have your poo poof and then you have the mesh. And I'm like, well, how do I get the powder through this mesh? I'm like, well, duh, you just take this part off. Well, no, there's still the mesh. So I was like, okay, well, how do I get this off? I'm trying that. I tried it with the tweezers. It would not come off. So Daryl figured it out. You have to put your finger through the mesh here, and you have to be careful not to poke a hole, hole through there. So, and then you just reach under and it lifts right off. So yeah, that is a little complicated. It should have came with directions. Okay, so I'm going to try to place a little bit of my favorite, what? Nope. That made a huge mess. You guys, it's everywhere. Oh my gosh. Well, at least I got some in there. So yeah, maybe a funnel would have came in handy, or a scoop or something. Maybe take a spoon. Don't do that because I literally have powder everywhere, but it's going to work. This part's going to work. So now I'm just going to place that on top here, and then You just place that on, and let's clean this beautiful container off and see how well this is going to work, with the powder and the poof poof that it came with. So I'm just going to place that and the poof poof inside. Now, when you have a mesh, what I have learned how to use that, you just kind of tip it upside down while it has the poof poof in it. Or you can tip it upside down and use a brush, whatever you want to use. So I can get a product. As you can see, it's coming out. So I'm just going to place a little bit through the T-zone, and that works beautifully. Other than me creating the biggest mess in the world, don't do what I do. What is it? Do as I say, not as I do, because obviously, yeah, that is a huge mess. So let me clean this up, and then I do want to show you my other idea for this one. Okay, I really did like that concept. Again, I think it's going to be great for traveling. Definitely no powder is going to come through there at all. So I really do like this because, again, I love taking my Wet n Wild. Not that it's a huge problem, but it does take up some extra space. So I am really happy that I did make that much smaller. Okay, so my other idea for this little small one here for my purse, I love this powder here by Miss AOA, but look how tiny it is. I mean, you can barely get any kind of brush in there. You can barely get even a poof poof. So what I was thinking is I could place that one in here. So this one I think was just a little easier to take off. Yeah, there's like a notch right there. So you could just take your tweezers again and just lift that up like here. Now, the only problem with this one is that little lid does not come off. So what I would have to do is just kind of add a bunch of product. But honestly, it's going to fill up in no time because this does come out pretty quickly. So let me do that and just see how long this takes. Honestly, I think that took about 20 seconds. So, and that's what it looks like now in that little container. And now I'm just going to place my mesh back in. And let's see how that works because I do like using this throughout the day through the T-zone because it does brighten. That's why I love this little powder here. And I also use it for under my eyes when I do want to put out a powder under my eyes, which I will today just to demonstrate here. So what I'm going to do is just go right there on top of the powder. As you can see, quite a bit came out. So let's do that. I'm going to tap that off quite a bit and take my mirror and just place a little bit under the eye and through the T-zone. So yeah, I mean, quite a bit comes out that way with that mesh. So I think next time I probably wouldn't even fill it up as much as I did. Hopefully I can show you guys, see how much I put in there. And let's see when I open it, if powder goes everywhere. No, not really. And I think once you have your poof poof in there, that is not going anywhere. So I'm going to keep this in my purse. I'm actually going to take this today to the cookout. So yeah, here's my thoughts on this little situation here. So the foundation one, I'm not too sure about. I think what she did with the blushes was brilliant. I think there's other ways that you could really use these empty ones, like this one here. If I can get it open, you guys. So again, that's where the foundation is. I'm going to let you know if that dries out. I really don't see that being a possibility because that's pretty airtight. There's that closure. You can really hear it. So I think if I added quite a bit of product, you could really build that up. I think using the brush for sure was a lot better than using that sponge. I feel like this sponge just really absorbed way too much. So yeah, I do like this concept and I love it because I am going to fill this one up here, this empty one that I didn't use yet with this one here because I love taking this to Arizona. And yeah, I just feel like it's a lot better if I go, in here. Again, by Arizona, I'll know if it dried out by then. And I will let you guys know. I promise. And if I forget, remind me. Okay, I do have just something I do have new that I do want to try here on the channel. It's a new bronzer by, who is it? It Cosmetics. Oh, you guys, I can never find anything. Okay, I don't know. I think my products grow legs. They walk away, hide on me because they're never where I place them. I swear. I can never find what I'm looking for. Okay, so like I mentioned, I do have a new product by It Cosmetics and it's called Sun Blush. So I think these are new. So I think the idea is it's supposed to work like as a bronzer and a blush. So I got this shade right here, and this is in the shade Sun Warmth 30. So let's try it out. I'm super excited to try it out. I really like their products, the ones that they sent over. I think it's beautiful. Oh boy, beautiful on mature skin. Here we go. So it's super pigmented. And let's see how it blends away. Yeah, I think the concept is to make it look, like you've been out in the sun, kind of sun-kissed. And you know who else has something like this? I think Maybelline. It's new, and I actually just ordered it, so I can't wait to try that out. But it just gives like that beautiful, like almost like, I don't know, like you got a little burn, bronzy a look. So, but as you can see how beautifully that just blended in. So it is pretty pigmented. So, but I mean, it blends in really fast. And also, I forgot to mention that I did apply during one of my breaks here concealer, and what I used was the one by Say. I actually have not used it on the channel. I've been kind of testing it, and so far, I really do like it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that sometimes too, instead of having like more first impression videos. I think I'm going to start testing the products just a little bit before I place them on the channel because I think you get a better idea. Because sometimes I don't like a product right away and then I change my mind and vice versa. So let me know what you guys think about that. And also let me know what you think about these kind of videos. Even if it doesn't go 100% well, at least we got some ideas. Just something fun, something different. But I really love how that looks. It's just very natural. I think it looks very pretty on the skin. It's not over the top. I could really build this up. Actually, I might even add a little bit more off camera. Yeah, I really do like this. And they had like, I think it was like maybe 6 different shades. Now, the only problem is it was $34. But if you eliminate a blush and a bronzer, we can kind of justify that. Okay, another thing I do want to tell you really quick, another idea that popped in my head for the powder. If you have a powder, like one of your favorites that's broken, but you don't have, the guts to throw it away and you just don't want to, and you've been thinking of a different way to try to replace it or whatnot, place it in here. I bet you it would work. Just kind of crumble it up and use that powder that broke in that powder container. So what I'm going to do is apply the rest of my makeup. I'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, the rest of the makeup is applied, and I did apply more of this Glow with Confidence Sun Blush, the 2-in-1. So far, I really do like it. I love the shade. I love the concept, but I'll let you guys know if it lasts throughout the day. Look in the description box. And then to line my lips, I use this by Milani in the shade Nude Entrance. And then I did use, again, by It Cosmetics. This is called Confidence in a Serum Gloss. Now, unfortunately, I cannot find the shade on this, but I'll let you guys know in the description box as well. I looked everywhere. I could not find the shade on this tube. Okay, I do want to do one last thing really fast. I do want to try this with a brush just to see if it works okay. Yeah, it works just fine. So it does come out quite aggressive. I am finding that as well. So you still have to be a little careful. And I could have overfilled it. You guys seen how it dumped in there. So that could be the problem too. But as you can see, I just love that powder. And it just kind of calmed everything down. Okay, so I do want to talk about these really fast. Again, I really do like them. I think they're great for different reasons. I love the powder ones for sure. These are really going to come in handy. Again, I just got to wait and see on this, but I'm definitely going to play around with it and see if there's other ways to use them. If you guys think of a different way to use it as well, let me know. I would love to try it out, but let me know again if you do, like this kind of video. I would love to hear your thoughts. All right, you guys, I can't wait to see you again. I love you so much. And until next time.